What's good, y'all? Anderson Emerald back to talk about the Silesia Diamond League in Poland. Listen, this was, if you're a track and field fan, of course, specifically for me, a sprints, hurdles fan, like this was one of the best meets that we've seen all year. I'm gonna do two videos. This first one, I'm just gonna focus on the sprints, and then the next video, I'm gonna talk about the hurdles, and I'm gonna talk about the long jump as well. Listen, the men's 100, women's 100, the women's 400, like, listen, this meet was crazy. I don't even know. We'll start off with the men's 100 meters. So, Kishane Thompson versus Noah Lyles versus Kenny B, Christian, Trayvon. Like, we had so many people in this race, but Kishane Thompson, he got the win here, running 9.87 seconds, taking down Noah Lyles, who ran 9.90 seconds. This was an amazing race. We just saw Kishane, and before this, remember, I had said in my preview, I wasn't concerned about the times, and this race showed me why a lot of these athletes, or how a lot of these athletes will likely be showing up when we get to the World Championships, but very indicative. Kishane Thompson, explosive start. He led the field just like he does, for the most part in most of his races. He was out fast and he put enough gap on the field where literally no one was able to catch him. 9.87 seconds. I looked at this as a much better and much more well-executed race than what we saw at the Hungary Continental Tour. In Hungary, similar. He got out very fast. The second half, he kind of started to look around. He kind of grimaced his face. But here, he looked a lot more controlled. Now, there's still work to do in the second half of his race. And I'm no coach, right? Y'all know that I don't talk like I'm a coach or like I know, technique and all that stuff. But clearly, there is some room for improvement with Kishane, which is why I still have him as my favorite. We'll talk in a second. But Noah Lyles, though, this was an excellent race for Noah Lyles. Really, really good across the board, considering what he's done through the year. 9.90 seconds, improves on his season's best of 10 flat, which he ran at the London Diamond League. Now, he still, isn't getting out with the rest of the field. He's still significantly behind, when we're talking about the first 30 to 40 to 50 meters. But his second half, Noah Lyles was closing like an absolute train. He was closing so fast, just like he does in other races. But we can clearly see as he gets more races in, as he gets more, consistency, as he's touching the track more often, coming off the injury that he had early this year, he is getting faster and faster and faster. And this was close. Like it or not, Kishane got the win, fair and square, very clear. But this was very close. 9.90 seconds for Noah Lyles. He's rounding into form, and this is shaping up to be a very, very good matchup when we get to the World Championships in Tokyo. Now, even though Noah Lyles did finish second place here, what's great is that we're getting a chance to see both of them and Oblique Seville added at the Lausanne Diamond League going down, I think, on Wednesday in Lausanne, Switzerland. So we're going to get another matchup between these two and another data point leading into the World Championships. But after that, Kenny B, 9.96 seconds. And again, why I'm saying that the times aren't very relevant is because Kenny B finishing third place here was very important to keep him in that conversation as a true 100-meter medal threat. He already obviously is, considering he's run, 9.79 seconds this year. So he obviously is a medal threat. He arguably is a gold medal threat if you want to put him in that conversation. But the fact that he didn't lose to anyone in this field except the Olympic gold and silver medalists, that tells me that he is ready to compete with the best. Now, look at some of the guys that he beat out. Christian Coleman, very, very good race from Christian, 9.96, same time as Kenny, but he's not going to Worlds. Trayvon Bromell, 9.97, also very close, but he's unfortunately not going to Worlds. Then you have Courtney Lindsay. Like I said, after USA's and then also kind of in the preview, I just want to see Courtney Lindsay try and be more competitive in the 100 meters specifically, because the goal for him is to make the final at the World Championships. That, I think, is the goal for Courtney Lindsay. Similar for Akeem Blake. So those two guys, not too great of a performance, but, we'll see how things play out. Akani Simbine, not a great race. Unfortunately, not a great race. I love to give Akani a lot of grace, but, between the London Diamond League, the Hungary Continental Tour, he did better in Hungary, but here it's just tough when you're losing to a lot of these guys. Yes, Christian, Trayvon, they're not going to be there, but when you're losing to Courtney Lindsay, right? That's like, okay, you got to be in that mix. So shout out to Akani. Akeem is another one, just needs to make that final, but good race overall. Kishane getting the win, 9.87 seconds. He remains consistent. The only race he's lost this year was the Chinese Diamond League all the way back in April or so, or whatever it was. But Noah Lyles closing the gap. Clearly, he's getting more and more races in, which shows that he's rounding into form. 9.90, like I said, the time across the board, 987, 990, 996, not relevant to me. How they actually finished and how they placed, that's what I'm looking at. So this was good. We'll see them in Lausanne. Let's move over to the women's 100 meters. Oh no, man, this race was what? This race was wild. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, 10.66 seconds to get the win. Dominant fashion. She equals the meeting record set by Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce all the way back in 2022 when she was clocking off those 10.6s. And I'll talk about a quick stat in a second, but Melissa is the gold medal favorite. I'm gonna say it now. She is the gold medal favorite. Even if it's just by a slight margin, it's hard for me to say that after running 10.7 at the Grand Slam track meet in Philly, running 10.7 at Prefontaine Classic, running 10.6 at the USA Championships, running 10.6 again here, and at Prefontaine, she beat out Julian Alfred. She beat out her toughest competition. It's tough for me to say that she's not the favorite for the gold. Now, this doesn't mean she's an overwhelming favorite and she's going to walk away from the field, right? Julian Alfred is still extremely fast and has clicked off multiple 10.7s this year. But when you're running 10.6 multiple times, and listen, this is for everyone who's like, oh, Eugene, that's a fast track. She just did it here. Like, what are we doing? She went all the way over to Europe and literally replicated what she just did. She ran 10.65, in Eugene, and then she runs 10.66 here. It's like she essentially replicated, and I think it was, essentially negligible wind, 0.1. So she essentially matched what she did in Eugene and proved against a high quality field that she is no slouch. Shout out to Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. The thing that I found very interesting, and I'll talk about Tia Clayton in a moment, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, she now is the next person after Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Elaine Thompson-Herah, Florence Griffith-Joyner, and Carmelita Jeter to actually run sub 10.70 seconds multiple times in their career. She's now done it twice in her career. Now, it equals, Carmelita Jeter, who ran 10.64 and 10.67. Florence Griffith-Joyner, and I'll bring up the all-time marks here. Flojo, she ran 10.49, she ran 10.61, and she ran 10.62. Elaine Thompson-Herah, she's done it on 4 occasions, 10.54. She did 10.61. She also did 10.64 and then also 10.65. And then Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Shelly has done it so many times in her career that it's it's wild. She's done it, 9 times in terms of sub 10.70 seconds. But Melissa Jefferson-Wooden is entering herself into a realm of consistency, and that's not even to speak of her 10.7s and all that, right? So amazing performance for Melissa to put her in the driver's seat, in my opinion, leading into the World Champs. I don't know, she's going to run at the Brussels Diamond League, so we'll see her at least one more time. Tia Clayton had not competed since the Jamaican National Championships, where she ran 10.86 seconds, I think, in the semifinals, and then she got injured and pulled up in the final. Here, comes right back, 10.82 seconds. Personal best for Tia Clayton. Personal best, just 100th of a second off what her sister did. So now you have Tina Clayton, shout out to Tina, who finished 4th place here, 10.91. Tina Clayton, personal best of 10.81. Tia Clayton, personal best of 10.82. Sisters are going right now. And the thing with Tia Clayton, because she got injured in the final at Jamaican Trials, she didn't get a spot to the World Championships. So now her path is going to be winning the Diamond League final in the 100 meters. Now, this is going to be very tricky because if Melissa Jefferson-Wooden is running that 100 meter final, then Tia, we just have to be honest. We have to be honest. Tia is not winning. If Melissa is in that race, Tia is not winning. But if we take everyone out, if you take Melissa out, then Tia might be in the driver's seat here. Tia might be in this driver's seat. This essentially bodes very well for Tia to potentially get a spot to the World Championships. Check out the video that I did breaking down that entire process, but this reasserts Tia as a true contender to possibly get on to the Jamaican team in the 100 meters. She's back, yo. This is crazy. This is why I say, if you're a track and field fan, there's no way that you weren't excited by the results at this meet. Marie-Josée Talu-Smith, 10.87 seconds. Amazing performance considering what she's, I think, 30, she might be 36 years old. She's one of the most experienced athletes in the 100 meters next to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and she's still running 10.8s. Tina Clayton, 10.91. Like I said, yes, she ran 10.81 at Jamaican Trials, but at the Hungary Continental Tour, she just ran 10.99. Now she's running 10.91. I like the consistency. I like the progress from Tina Clayton here. So keep a lookout for her. Jason Sears, 11 flat. And then Sha'carri Richardson, 11.05. Now, a lot of people were coming at me. Shout out to Dean Asher-Smith and Iva Svoboda, Gina Lukenkemper. A lot of people were, I don't know if coming at me, but the thing I'm looking for with Sha'carri is progress. Now, I'm going to be honest. This is not as much progress as I was maybe looking for. I was hoping that she would be able to drop 11 flat or 10.9 high or something like that to show a little bit more progression going into the World Championships. She's already run 11.07 this year, right? And prior to that, she ran 11.19. She ran 11.4. So steady progress, but this obviously is quote unquote concerning in the sense that, like, you know, she now is very much going to be, is she going to make the final? Because when you have so many women ahead of her, between Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, between Julian Alfred, between Tina Clayton, Marie-José Talu-Smith, Shericka Jackson, right? Like, you have a bunch of women who are in the conversation. It's good that she beat out Dean Asher-Smith. And I didn't mention Tia because she still has to make the team, right? It's good that she beat out Dean Asher-Smith. It's good that she beat out Iva Svoboda and Gina Lukenkemper. Like, at least Iva and Dina, those are women who have made the finals at World Championships previously. But then you have other athletes like an Amy Hunt. You have a Daryl Nita. You have some other women who are in the conversation. I didn't even mention Aaliyah Hobbs and Kayla White. It gets tough to say that, all right, Sha'carri is definitely going to make the final. We clearly know she has a talent, but we have a month to go, about a month to go before the World Championships. She definitely has to make a little more progress. But shout out to Melissa, Tia, Marie-José. Like, these were good. This was good, man. This is good. All right, women's 200. Let's move over because we saw Shericka Jackson win the race. Very, very close race, though. Very close race. 22.17 seconds. So that's a positive indicator because it improves on her 22.5, which she ran earlier this year, I think, at the Rabat Diamond League, I think it was. Someone could cross-check me on that. But 22.17, really good showing from Shericka Jackson here. Coming off the 11 flat, she ran at the Hungary Continental Tour. Coming off the 10.88, she ran at the Jamaican National Championships. Oh, actually, she might have run 10.5 at the Racers Grand Prix. But regardless, this is a good performance. Now, this isn't the like end all be all when we're talking about the field here, right? Because you don't have Julian Alfred, you don't have Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, you don't have Gabby Thomas. Favor Ophelia is not competing here. Dean Asher-Smith wasn't in the field. Amy Hunt. So there's a lot of women who are missing from the field who are going to be challenging her when we do get to the World Championships, right? Anavia Battle, et cetera, et cetera. You know, all those women are in the conversation. But Brittany Brown in second place pushed Shericka Jackson to the line. Shericka got out relatively, she got out pretty strong, but not extremely fast. Like, she wasn't blazing around the bend, and she was pressed down the home straight, but then she did start to, you know, hold her own, and she was able to hold off Brittany Brown. But it was close. Similar with Favor Ophelia, 22.25, Amy Hunt, 22.31. So some of these women, you know, putting down some great performances, but I am happy with what Shericka Jackson was able to put down here, and it shows that she's making some steady progress. It's still a ways to go, you know, to get to those 21s. Like, obviously, I'm not going to say she's a gold medal favorite right now because between Julian Alfred running 21.7s, between Melissa Jefferson-Wooden running 21.8, and she's dropping 10.6s. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole different thing, but good and positive progress for Shericka Jackson here that at least I like to see. You know, we'll see. Still up and down for me personally in terms of if she'll get on that podium. Now, let's move over to the women's 400 meters. This was an absolute amazing race for Marley Paulino. I have to show you like the actual splits, but Paulino ran down Saweed Nasser in the final meters with 40 to win in 49.18 seconds, just ahead of Nasser's 49.27. Shout out to Henriette Jager. Y'all told me that I didn't mention her. I apologize. She's been running consistent this year. 49.83 seconds. She got the bronze medal indoors in the 400. She's run 49s a couple times already this year, but overall, Paulino is unstoppable. I feel like she's unstoppable. She literally had, I'm going to bring up the splits here because it was insane. It was literally insane, like the distance she was behind at 300s. You're talking about Paulino. She was coming off the curve at the 300. She was in 5th place at 36.53. These are unofficial splits, right? You know, just giving a gauge, right? Like, shout out to Omega and all that. Not official, but just giving a gauge. 5th place in 36.53. Nasser was first place leading in 36.02. Again, approximately or whatever. At the finish, she ran her down. Over, like, she was half a second, behind at 300, and she ran her down. This was like, I don't know. It's hard for me to say that Paulino is going to get beat unless you have like 100 meters, on her going into that. Like, I don't know. Paulino just has a way of like assessing the field, assessing her pace, and being able to, take anyone down when she needs to. Now, that is not a great strategy. Like, she was so far behind, and that all these women are getting better and better as they get closer to the World Championships. Same with Marlene Paulino, but if she's leaving a race so late, and it's like very, very risky, because we know Nasser can run 49.14. And I do think this year it's going to take something around that range to be able to win the gold medal. Nasser already ran 48.6 earlier this year. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is coming. I know that I said it's going to be tough for Sydney to get the gold medal or, to beat Paulino or Nasser, but it doesn't matter. She is still in the conversation for a gold medal. And we know, I personally believe, that she can run 48 low. So Paulino needs to make sure that her race strategy is really, really tightened up, or she can get caught slipping. It's not impossible. So shout out to Paulino. Nasser, though, also very consistent, 49.27. This was a great race. I was like, Paulino is on another one. This is what I say. Like, I'm a track and field fan. Like, I just love to watch these races. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Now, let me finish off with just highlighting the women's long jump. Jasmine Moore, this was a good competition overall. Now, in the competition, we saw Jasmine Moore, Hillary Kapcha, apologize for the pronunciation, and Claire Bryant all finish ahead of Malaki Mihambo, former Olympic champion from 2021 and reigning Olympic silver medalist. Jasmine Moore got the win with a fifth round jump of 6.85 meters. That just surpassed Hillary's 6.83 meter jump in round 3. And then Claire Bryant jumped 6.83 meters in the final round, in round 6. Now, because Hillary had a 6.82 as her second best jump, Claire Bryant wasn't able to surpass that, and she remained in third place. But Jasmine Moore, she got the win, 6.85 meters. Now, this is interesting because she could go to the Diamond League. She only made the World Championship team in the triple jump. She could go to the Diamond League final in the long jump and try and get a wild card there, because this would be the first time since 2021 she would only compete in one of the jumps at the Worlds or the Olympics. But she said, I think, that she only is going to do the triple jump at the Zurich Diamond League. So maybe she only wants to solely focus on that at the World Championships and really trying to lock in to get a medal there. I don't know, but amazing competition across the board in the women's long jump. This was good. This was really, really good. I said that Malaki Mihambo and Larissa Apicino are probably like two, strong contenders for medals, but like, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Outside of Tara Davis-Woodhall, I think the medals are up in the air in the women's long jump. That's what I think right now. But we'll see what actually happens. But just an initial reaction on the men's, women's 100 meters, the women's 200, women's 400, the women's long jump. Like, especially that women's 100, like, that made me a true track and field fan. True track and field fan. Like, I love these performances across the board. I love the head-to-heads, all of that. Now, I'm going to have another video coming out after this talking about the hurdles, the women's 100 hurdles, the men's 400 hurdles. Like, there were some good races, but let me know what you thought about the sprints in the Silesia Diamond League. What did you expect the results that we saw? Did this change things going into the World Championships in any of the races? Let me know what you think. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Truly appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.